10 years ago, I was a youth worker here in Baltimore working with young people coming out of juvenile services, foster care, and other agencies, and helping them get into employment opportunities and transition into independent living. And one day I was sitting in my office at a nonprofit here in Baltimore, and Steve Butts, another of the co-founders of Social Solutions, walked in and saw how I was capturing data. And I was using a Word document to capture retention data, and he looked at it and laughed and asked me how the program that we were operating was getting so much recognition with such a poor way of capturing data. So I took him up on the challenge and asked if he could help us do better, and he created the initial version of ETO in Access and gave it back to me, and in the process I asked if he would join me to apply the vision of efforts to outcomes with the youth we were working with. And we formed the Workforce Development Center, working with a wide range of youth throughout the city. The great thing about using ETO in its initial version was that we regularly used it to capture the work we were doing and the outcomes that were coming out of that. And at the end of every week, a team of 5, including some other individuals who eventually joined Social Solutions, would look at the data, and we would celebrate incremental victories and look at how were people achieving the things they were achieving within the week. And we take that experience into the following week, and we continue to get better. Some other dramatic things that happened from that was we were able to take this efforts to outcomes view and report back to funders like Annie Casey Foundation and State of Maryland Department of Human Services and show them more data than they actually asked for in their reporting about what were we doing and what was the return on their investment that they had made in paying for the youth workers in this program. So as we got these great results from doing the work and we're really living ETO, we naturally looked across the organization we worked for and asked if the same thing could be done in other programs so that we could continue to get better and have better outcomes for youth that we were serving. The organization at the time struggled with the idea of efforts to outcomes and going that deep because, frankly, they were able to raise money without having to do that and really shine a light on the exact work that they were doing and what outcomes were being achieved or perhaps not. After a number of months of conversations where we really pushed the agenda to become an ETO organization, we ended up leaving and forming Social Solutions. And really the reason for that was we believed in ETO, as we strongly believe today, that organizations that apply that become better organizations, have better outcomes for the people they serve, and we really wanted to work with organizations that wanted to embrace that vision. So initially it was very challenging. Year 2000, weren't a lot of organizations that were willing to take that leap without having funders demanding it. Fortunately, a number of organizations did, and that number has certainly grown over time as funders and state agencies and federal agencies are really looking for outcomes and return on investment they make in programs. When we started Social Solutions, we really had a vision that was implemented with a small number of customers. We're now working with 6,000 customers around the country and really helping them to embrace this vision of ETO and the benefits that will accrue to the clients they serve, their staff, and the organization as a whole.